welcome to Influential Sports, where passion meets precision. As I'm your host Ed, diving deep into the plays, players, and stories shaping the game. And this video, as you can see from the title, is my predictions for WrestlePalooza, the first ever WWE pay-per-view on ESPN. And I get started with a match that we don't know if that's going to happen or yet or not, because this will be out on Wednesday. But it's going to take place before SmackDown. Hopefully they don't add it last minute. But Tiffany Stratton, Nia Jackson, Jade Cargill, that seems to be the triple threat that could be happening at WrestlePalooza or at a later date. I think it'll be a good triple threat match. Now, apparently Tiffany is injured, so she isn't able to compete at NXT, which is taking place Tuesday night. Like I said, I'm recording it on Tuesday. It'll be out Wednesday. So, maybe it will, maybe it won't happen, but I'm going to still talk about the match anyways and talk about how we got here between Tiffany, Jade, and Nia. Which Nia, her last win was against Lash Legend, and now she's back on the main roster. Obviously, she wasn't getting called down. It was just something to build up Lash, but they had to have another match. I don't know how NXT win translates to the main roster, and she's right back in the title feud. And Tiffany and Jade, their second match, I feel like was better than the first one, even though both matches were good in my opinion. I think the first match wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible either. But I did enjoy that second match, which was on SmackDown, and felt like they should have been at WrestlePalooza. But if they make it a triple threat, like all three of their styles mesh well together, which I don't like how we got here, but triple threat in itself I'm not mad at. Nia Jax did call it a shot, and I think if they do something with Nia, because Nia isn't going to be the one to win this match, she'll likely lose, and maybe Lash Legend costing her the win could be good, because Lash Legend did just beat Jada Parker, so maybe Lash could cost Nia Jax the win, and they continue their feud. Lash gets her win back, is 1-1, then they do the trilogy, and Lash gets the second win over Nia Jax to propel her, and that's how she gets caught up to the main roster. And then Nia Jax got to rebuild herself up on the main roster, eventually get to Jade, maybe at WrestleMania next year. If it's not Bianca that has a match with Jade, because I think Jade should win the triple threat. Nia Jax, like I said, will probably take the pin, and Tiffany hasn't lost all year, which I don't think she's going to go undefeated the rest of the year. I could see her losing in the triple threat match. I see her losing the title. I think it's the perfect time to get a title to Jade and take that chance with her and see what she can do with the title. Because if you don't take the chance now, you will never know what she'll be able to do. So I think Jade, she's looked good. She's really improved this year. And I think it's that time to put the WWE Women's Championship on her and let her have that win. Give her that moment and continue to build Jade. I don't think this hurt Tiffany. I think Tiffany can go to the mid-card for a little bit, build herself back up. Because I think the only area where Tiffany is really lacking is she needs a character which is affected by her not being a heel. I hear that she's much better as a heel compared to a babyface, and then her promo work as well, they can improve. Then if you let that develop over time while she's in the mid-card for a little bit, she can be right back in the main event scene. And then, like I said, with Jade, she matches well against women closer that match her athleticism. Like, she don't need squash matches. She needs to be in matches with Nia Jax, Piper Niven, Bianca, people like a Tiffany Stratton, like that. Maybe a Charlotte even. Like, her and Charlotte could be a really good match. So I do think whenever this match takes place, Jade Cargill should be the one to win. Now, I don't know what order I want to. Okay, John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. This one, I think this is the easiest one to predict. John Cena has to get the win. Brock Lesnar probably isn't going to be here for a while. He's probably just hit back for this match. Maybe he's going on a little run, which I just don't see it happening. I think John Cena's going to get this win. The promos leading up to this has been really weird because it's like John Cena says he's afraid of Brock even though he's beat him before. So that don't make sense to me. Like, obviously Brock has gotten the better of him most of the time, still faced off, but John Cena has beaten him before. I don't know why we're acting like that's never happened. So John Cena has to get the win. He beat Logan at Clash in Paris. And then he's going to have 100 PLE wins before the year ends. He's at 98 now. This is going to be his 99th PLE win. Then the next one will be Survivor Series, I think, or Crown Jewel. Then Crown Jewel, I think. Then he'll get to 100 pay-per-view wins in his WWE career. I think that's really what his retirement tour is about now. Because he's gotten the 17th World Championship. Doesn't seem like he's after any titles. Don't really know what the plan is for John Cena. But John Cena has to get the win here. Brock coming back just to get a win when it's not even guaranteed that he stays after the match. Wouldn't make sense to me. So John Cena has to win this match. Now for the next match, the Usos versus Division. this could go a few different ways, but I think the best way for this match to go is if you had a Vision win and it'd be a distraction. Either it's not gonna be an LA Knight distraction because he just got his win back. Well, he got his get back against Jay with the BFT, so they might like they gonna have a program. They're gonna have a one-on-one feud, and it's been the way they building up to it has been really good. But I think the way the Usos could lose this is Jimmy, instead of Jay being the one to do the yeet mid-match, it's Jimmy that try to do the yeet mid-match. And then Jay is like, we're not doing that. Then Jay turns into the no yeet person, and Jimmy slowly turns into the more fun yeet guy. And then they could be throughout the match, not like throughout the, not for like multiple months on end, but in the match, it could be Jimmy wants to do the yeet mid-match, and he does it, and then Jay is the one to stop it. Then because of that slight distraction, they end up losing the match. Then after the match, Jay and Jimmy, they have a backstage segment, whether that be, and they could do it on this same show to keep building tension with the Usos, and you don't even have to lead them to having them have another one-on-one match, but Jay can be like, all the yeeting is what led to me losing my championship, so we got to cut that out if we want to get back to where we want to be as tag champions, or if we both just want to be, or they could both be on, or they could be on something like, at the end of the day, we still brothers, but I know you want singles gold and I want singles gold too. So while I go after the World Heavyweight Championship, you can go after the IC title, but we got to be more serious and we got to stick together as a tag team. So then as a tag team, they could win. They could go after Jay can win his world title back. Jimmy could get the IC title, and then after they drop those titles, they could be back going after the tag titles, or you reverse it and they go after the tag titles as a more serious but still babyface tag team, and then after they have one or two more reigns, they go back after singles gold. Jay. The first option makes more sense because Jay says he wants his world heavyweight title back. So Jay could be like, we got to be more serious. It's no more that yeet, because that's what lost me the title. It's become a distraction to me. So then Jay could go after his world title. He could say, Jimmy, you got to the IC title. And we both gonna have each other's backs as long as we're on the same brand. And whether we're together or separated, that's what the goal is. So the Usos have to lose, and they have to do something like that. And then this establishes the division as this dominant faction. The Vision could be the ones who go after the tag titles, with Seth still being World Heavyweight Champion. Then a segment that post-Raw, Seth will talk about how the Vision, how they just beat one of the, you can prop them, the Usos up as the greatest tag team ever, which is what they've been promoting, and say that we just beat, actually have Braun Breaker and Russell Reed do the talking on Raw. Be like, we just beat the greatest tag team of all time, so we should be next in line for the tag team titles. Then you keep building. Then the stuff with the Vision continues to marinate. You can, so speaking of the Vision, Becky Lynch and Seth taking on CM Punk and AJ Lee. This CM Punk and AJ Lee winning doesn't make sense to me. Where AJ Lee just come, like, everybody doesn't have to win their return match, and if she's returning in a tag team match for a reason, because you know she's more than likely to be rusty in the ring. She doesn't look bad for her age. Her and Becky the same age, but it's like, you know it's gonna be some ring rust there. And Seth is the world champion. Like, you can't keep having. And then the build up to this has been weird. Like, Becky had to sneak attack AJ Lee, who, while they're the same age, one of them hasn't wrestled in 10 years, being AJ Lee. So you need to do a sneak attack. Now, CM Punk and AJ Lee are probably going to win, but I think Seth and Becky should win. There's no way both the IC champion, the women's IC champion, and World Heavyweight champion should be taking a loss on the first ever ESPN pay-per-view. Make your champions feel important. Make them get this win. And you can continue to build the story. Have them win in a heelish way. Like, it's a normal mixed tag team match. Maybe CM Punk clotheslines, maybe Seth Rollins clotheslines AJ Lee, or he shoulders tackle when the ref isn't looking, and then that causes controversy. It brings more heat to the Vision as heels. And then if all four of them win in both their tag team matches, they establish dominance. Seth continues his reign as, obviously it's not for the titles, but they can establish dominance that way, with the Bronze going after the tag titles, and then Seth and Becky getting this big win at WrestlePalooza. Then they both of them went 2-0 in their matches, and talk about how they're the most dominant faction in WWE today. And then obviously you're gonna have AJ Lee versus Becky 1-on-1, and Seth versus CM Punk 1-on-1 soon. So you don't have to have them win. You can have the Vision of Seth and Becky win in a heelish way to win this match, because I don't think that CM Punk and AJ Lee need this win. Like, CM Punk has taken a lot of losses this year and still been in the main event picture. So one more loss won't affect CM Punk. Now it's two more matches to talk. Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. This will probably be the main event, but I still wanted to talk about this one before the other women's match, because Yes, Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre. This is gonna be a great match, but I don't know how they're finna do this because Drew, I feel like it's too early for him to be going right after the championship. Like Cody just won it back, so it's like, is Cody gonna lose it immediately within his first defense? Probably not. If they have two matches, cool, but in that second match, Drew has to win. Then you still got to incorporate Randy Orton somehow. Like, I think Cody Rhodes is gonna retain. That's my prediction, that Cody is gonna retain. But I do think that the better option would be for Drew McIntyre to win the WWE Championship. He still hasn't had a proper run since what he did in the pandemic era. He won the championship last year, held it for 5 minutes, got cashed in on. But Drew McIntyre has earned the proper reign for having the feud of the year with CM Punk last year, for being one of the top guys in WWE during the pandemic era, which many people tuned out was tuned out of WWE. But the WWE was still doing a great job, led behind Drew McIntyre, what he was able to contribute to the company at that time. So I think Drew should get the win. You can make Cody a 3-time champion down the line. I think they should have saved this for like a Royal Rumble or something, not WrestleMania, because that would have been too long of a wait. But if they would have saved this for Royal Rumble, I think this would have been better. Like I said, it's a way you still have to integrate Randy into this feud somehow, whether that's him turning heel or, but maybe it leads to a triple threat. But Royal Rumble would have been the perfect time to do this match and have Drew McIntyre finally win the WWE Championship. And then the last match, which I don't know where this match is going to be placed at, Stephanie Valkyrie versus Io Sky for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. But so far, they've had two matches on the main roster this year, both ended in no contest. This won't end in a no contest. It's for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. But what I hope to see, I just want it to be just as good as their first two matches, but with no shenanigans this time. I don't want to see anybody involved. I know Rhea's after the title. I know Asuka, she's been eyeing Stephanie as well. Kairi Sane, she's involved. Nikki Bella. Like, it's a lot of moving pieces in this feud, and I've been enjoying this feud. And I think her match with Stephanie's match with Kairi Sane was really good. I enjoyed it. But Stephanie versus Io, their third match, it needs to have no shenanigans, have a clear, decisive winner. No ref bumps. Please don't do that in a women's match again. It can happen, but just for this match specifically, please don't do that. Just have a clean, clear, decisive winner is what we need in this match. And it should be Stephanie Valkyrie, because Io Sky and Rhea Ripley are likely going to team up and take on the Kabuki Warriors, which could be a really good tag team feud. And Io and Rhea are going to need something to do, because maybe it's Io and Nikki that team up, and then they write Nikki off TV in a storyline way, and Rhea's going to team up with her. But they should do Stephanie versus Rhea and give Stephanie that win to continue to build her up. Then there'll be other women in the division for her to face. Maybe a Ivy Nile on like Raw or something, since they have history between those two. Not just because I like Ivy Nile, but they do have legit history with each other on the main roster. And then you could continue building up other women. Maybe Bayley gets a match. Maybe Lyra. You have plenty of options to take on Stephanie. Like, she could beat Rhea, and then Rhea and Io, after Nikki Bella is taken out by the Kabuki Warriors, maybe Kairi's saying that's how she finally falls in line with Asuka by taking out Nikki Bella, and then Io needs a partner to take on the Kabuki Warriors, and it ends up being Rhea. And then once Nikki comes back, she comes back with her sister Brie, and then you establish, okay, we got these three tag teams on Raw, in the Bella Twins, the Kabuki Warriors, Rhea and Io, and then you got Charlotte and Alexa on SmackDown, whichever. You got the Secret Herbis, I guess. And then, so you have a little bit of something to do with some of these tag teams in the women's division on the main roster. I think that's the perfect way that you will be able to bring Brie back and establish this women's tag team division a bit more. But Stephanie should get the win. She's great in the ring. The segment, her English is improving. She's had some solid segments the last few weeks. She's had solid segments all year in general, which people don't want to give her credit for. But Stephanie, I feel like she gets a championship, she'll do a great job with it, and she'll be a great Women's World Heavyweight Champion. Those are my predictions for WrestlePalooza. Make sure y'all leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, comment your predictions, and share for others to see.